So Ed came to me, he had no clear offer, he had no clear systems, and he was stuck at around 5k AUD a month. Now in just 4 months, cash collected 120k. So he went from 5k a month to 30k a month in just the span of 4 months. And in this video, it's pretty simple. I'm going to be breaking down the exact ad campaign, the exact strategy I used for Ed in order to actually make sure that he went from that 5k a month mark to that 30k a month mark in only 4 months. It's a very simple strategy, and I want to share this video with you guys so you know the exact strategy which we implemented, which you can go ahead and implement for your own business so you can start landing clients consistently. That's the main purpose of this video. So let's get right into it so you guys can start landing more clients. Let's go. First thing that we did for Ed in particular is Ed gave me some more info on like what his business actually consists of, what he offers for his clients, what his services look like, so we knew what to work with and we knew how to structure the ads and the VSL for the landing page. So with the ad scripts, what we did is we made 5 unique hooks and 1 body, and we tested 5 unique video ads and 2 image ads. With the VSL, he gave me lots of insight into his backend systems, what he does for his clients, and he's currently running a sales operation where he helps high ticket setters and closers land a sales role where they can make anywhere from 5 to 10k a month, because there's lots of setters and closers out there that are stuck making 1 to 2k a month. So it was a very desirable offer which we could use, so he could help the setters and closers come into his business where they could go from making 1 to 2k a month to that 5 to 10k per month goal. So that's what his operation looks like, and I'm going to show you exactly what we did with his ad campaign. So guys, if we come into his ad campaign here, as you can see, we've obviously got like quite a few different campaigns which we have run through, but the original campaign was this CBO campaign, which we got $4.73 per lead and 2,300 leads generated. It's a lot of leads, but this isn't in USD. This is AUD, as you can see here, 200 AUD and a $4.73 AUD cost per lead, which is ridiculous, and the cost per book call of around $20, which is insane. So we're going to go right into it. First thing you guys are going to do is obviously come into your ads manager. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be familiar with what this looks like, and press on to create. Now, obviously we're doing a lead generation campaign, so that means the main campaign objective is going to be leads. So make sure you guys go ahead here and select leads, press continue here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do, as I mentioned before, a CBO campaign. So you guys can call the campaign name whatever you want, but what I want you guys to know that it is a CBO campaign. So there's 2 different campaigns that we can run. We can run a campaign budget, which is CBO, and ad set budget, which is ABO. So all campaign budget means is that the ad spend is being shifted in towards the ads which is performing best, and the ad sets as well. So for example, if you were to run an ad set budget and you were to do 2 different ad sets, you can put $25 into each ad set, meaning each ad set gets the same amount of spend. Whereas with campaign budget, if we're running a campaign at $50 a day and you have 2 ad sets, one day, one ad set can get $35 worth of spend and the other one can get 15. It depends on what Meta finds is performing best. It will shift more ad spend in towards that ad set. So we run it with campaign budget and we did $50 a day. Obviously this is going to depend on your budget, but $50 a day is definitely a good place to start in order to start generating a good volume of leads and actually getting a good amount of book calls on your calendar. So if you can spend $50 a day, that's perfect. If not, I would recommend spending minimum 30 is going to get you good enough lead volume. But this is all you're going to do in the campaign level, and then you're going to come down to the ad set level here. And we're going to run 2 different ad sets. So the first ad set that we're going to run is broad. You want to select your page here. The page that we ran for Ed was his page here, which is Blue Ocean Closes. Make sure your performance goal is to maximize the number of conversion leads. Then you want to come down here and you want to tweak your audience. So for Ed in particular, he wanted to target the big 4, which is Australia, UK, US, and Canada. This is obviously dependent on where you're from. I always think it's better to target the location which you're currently living in. So Ed is from Australia, so we obviously targeted Australia, and we targeted the other 3 countries in the big 4. So we added in United Kingdom, the USA, and then also Canada too. Now, if you're someone that's living in the US, I honestly would recommend to begin with is just to test the US market and just stick with targeting US, but you can target Canada too. At the same time, the currency conversion from USD to Canadian, it makes everything like 1.5 times more expensive as well. So I honestly recommend nowadays just target US to begin with, see how you go. You can go ahead and go into the Canadian market, but to start with, I would honestly recommend just sticking with US because I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this are probably from the US. So I've got the big 4 here in the locations. Now what you want to do is come down to place placements here and press on show more settings. As you can see here, the main platforms that we want to be running the ads on is going to be Facebook and Instagram, as we're running a Meta ads campaign. But what Meta does is like automatically selects Audience Network. Now what Audience Network is, if you download a app like Candy Crush or a random games app, you'll find that sometimes when you complete a level, an ad will come up, and that is what Audience Network means. I even saw someone that had a bus stop app, or like a bus app on their phone, and an ad came up on that bus app, which is run through a Meta ads campaign. So what you want to do is turn off Audience Network. It's going to be easier to find your ideal client on Facebook and Instagram rather than someone who's playing Candy Crush. So just stick to these two here. That's going to be the best thing you want to do. And that's what you want to do in the platform section. And that is what the ad set level is going to look like. Again, the ad set level is pretty straightforward. Just make sure you change the location. Make sure you obviously name the ad set name broad to begin with, because this is going to be a broad ad set. And make sure you have this on conversion leads. And last thing, platform, make sure you have Facebook and Instagram selected. Now to give you guys a little bit more insight into why we run a broad ad set, what a broad ad set is quite simple. So the scripting in your video ad, or just the ad itself, that is what Meta is going to target these ads towards inside of this ad set. So it's a broad ad set. So for example, with the ads that we're running for Ed was targeting his ads toward current or aspiring high ticket setters or closers, right? So naturally, what Meta's going to do is shift the ads and target those people based off the scripting and the messaging inside of the ad itself. Quite cool how it's able to do that, but that's why we leave one of the ad sets broad, and I'll get to the other ad set in just a second. Okay, so we've done the campaign level, we've done the ad set level as well now. So next thing we want to do is come to the actual ad level. And in the ad level, pretty simple, just want to make sure that you name your ad. So just call this one ad 1. As we can see here, Facebook page is selected. Make sure with multi-advertiser ads, we turn this off, because all it is just Meta having their own AI systems that they want to put in place. But we want to make sure that we are in control of the ads we're pushing out. We don't want any of these AI, recommendations to be in our campaign, because that just means that Meta is just kind of taking over control and doing what it wants with your campaign. We want to be in control of the campaign. We want to make sure that we actually push the ads in front of the people that we want the ads to be in front of. We want to put our ads in front of the right eyeballs. Now, next thing you want to do, you want to scroll down to where it says Ad Creative, and this is where you're going to upload the ads that you want to publish. So as you can see here, we press on Setup Creative, video ad to begin with. And now that we're on the media section here, what you need to do is just come to upload and then select the files of your ads so you can upload them inside of this section. Now, the original ads that we ran for Ed were these ones here. So I'm going to select these ones. So simply just press on the ad, press next. Okay, so the media section is done. Trim, we just want to make sure that we just skip continue this, because obviously the ad is going to be the way that you already want it to be. Crop, as long as everything is an original, that's perfect. And now we are on to text. So this part's important. So there's a few different things we need to fill out here. First thing, with primary text, obviously this is the part that's going to be like the caption or the description, which people are going to see on the ad itself. So with the primary text, all you want to do, which I recommend, is just putting in the script of the ad itself. So if you have the script of the video ad, simply just come here into primary text, paste it in, make sure it all looks clean. So just make sure that each part's split up. This part here for me is already looking pretty good. So like there's just gaps in between each part. For example, like at this part here, just make that look cleaner, and this looks pretty clean, right? So this is what you want to do with the primary text. Very straightforward. Again, with this part, the Advantage Plus creative text, just make sure this isn't on. So just get rid of apply. If you just press this here, so make sure it's applied to none. Same thing with this one here, apply to none. Perfect. And then with the headline, what you're gonna do is we do two different headlines that we want to test. First headline is you want to target the niche in this headline. So obviously the niche we're targeting is high ticket setters and closers. Simply just type high ticket setters and closes. Listen up. That's the first headline we do. Second headline that I do is actually putting the headline as the result which you're going to get for this specific target market. So obviously what we're offering for this market is a 10K per month role as a high ticket setter or closer. So simply what we're going to do is land a 10K per month role. Let's just make that look a little bit cleaner as well. Okay, perfect. So those are the two different headlines. Again, make sure these Advantage Plus AI recommendations are off. And then the call to action, what converts best is always going to be learn more. So make sure that's selected. Then we want to press on next. Enhancements, don't worry about this. Just press on done and bang, now your ad is published. So that's the first part. Everything's in there. Ad is uploaded. And the next thing we're going to move on to now inside of the ad level is going to be the lead form. So the lead form is simply where you capture the information information. So where you actually capture the lead's name, email, phone number, and you can also ask qualifying questions in there as well to ensure that the leads coming in through the ads are leads that are actually going to have a chance of converting to clients. So what you're going to do is simply just go to the instant form section, press onto create form, make the name of your form, so it could be anything, just call it form 1. Make sure your form type is selected as more volume, and for flexible form delivery, make sure you press optimized. Come to next, make sure that the background image is on. It just makes the form part of the ad just look a bit cleaner. And then for the greeting, there's two different things we need to do, which is the headline and also the description here. For the headline, what you're going to do is just put in the niche that you're targeting. So again, here we're going to do high ticket setters and closes, and for the description, simply just please click continue below, then go ahead and press next. Now this is the questions part. So this is the part where we're actually going to capture the lead's information, right? So as you can see here, we've got the full name, email, phone number. Make sure the full name is at the top, the email is second, and the phone number is third. It's just the cleanest way to actually make sure you collect the lead's information, and make sure that the phone number is not on optional, because it's not optional, but you need to make sure you collect the phone number of this lead. So make sure that optional is not selected. For the description, again, simply just put please answer the below questions, and then you want to add in one qualifying question. So I only recommend adding in one question, especially to begin with running an ad campaign. The reason is because at the beginning you don't want to have much friction on your lead form. The reason is I recommend doing this is because you want to maximize lead volume, so keeping low friction on the lead form whilst being able to test the quality. Because if you can have good quality coming in, good quality leads coming in whilst maximizing volume, you've killed two birds with one stone. You know what I mean? You've got quality and you've got volume. But if we find that obviously there's not much friction on the lead form, so if we find that the lead volume is really high and the quality is not so good, then what we can do is we can tweak the lead form to ensure that we have the best possible quality coming in. So the question which we did for Ed was fairly straightforward for this qualifying process, and it was simply, are you a high ticket setter or closer looking to work on an offer that generates you 10K per month? And then it would be two different answers, yes or no. Please click off this page immediately. So obviously if anyone sees the no part, they're just not going to click through. If they press yes, then obviously they're able to opt in as a lead, and they're obviously going to be someone that Ed is looking to work with. And this is the questions section done. Now you want to press on next. Now next thing is privacy policy. There's two different things you can do here. If you actually have like a privacy page, which you've got on your website or on your funnel, obviously enter it in there. But if you don't have any privacy policy page, all you want to do is just put in the first page of your website or funnel, so people just get directed to there. So that's exactly what we did for Ed. We put in the first page of his funnel, and then we pressed next, and then again down here, this is the last page. This is the last page of the lead form. Again, what we did is put in the link to his funnel to make sure that every single person that clicked on the ad after they filled out that lead form, they got redirected to the first page of his funnel, right? And then with the call to action, what we find converts best is book a call, and then we also need to fill out the headline and the description here. So for the headline, what we find performs best here as well and converts the most amount of leads onto the actual first page of the funnel is this: the headline, important final step. And then description, please click the blue book a call button below to claim your spot. So that is exactly what the last page of the lead form looks like. Now from what we did from here, press create form, and now the form is created. As you can see, form 1 has now been created. Now the last thing we did inside of the ad level itself is to make sure that we had a pixel tracking code and a pixel actually integrated inside of this campaign. So what we want to do is you want to make sure that you come down to tracking here, go to the CRM events, and then it'll say website events. With website events, make sure that this is on and your pixel is selected onto your ad account. Now, the reason you want to have a pixel selected inside of your ad campaign is because leads are going to be coming in, book calls are going to be coming in as well. But at the same time, you want to make sure that over time, the quality of these people are getting better and better. So what a Facebook pixel does is it triggers when it finds your exact ideal client. And what you can do from there is make sure that Meta naturally finds more and more of these people, because the pixel is only triggering on those types of people. Now, there's a lot of different backend systems that I'm going to go into depth in another video with, but there's a lot of different backend systems you can put in place to make sure that the pixel only triggers on specific people that come in. Because if the pixel triggers on everyone, that doesn't really do anything. So the pixel needs to trigger only on specific, the best of the best quality to ensure Meta is trying to find more and more of those people. So as we can see, pixel here is selected, and this is pretty much the campaign level, ad set level, and the ad level done. Now, obviously we didn't only run one ad, so I'm going to run you guys through exactly what we do with the the other 6 ads which we're doing, because we're going to run 7 ads in total. So that's exactly what we're going to get into depth with now. So ad 1, what you want to do is just press on the 3 dots here, press on duplicate, and then number of copies, just do the number of ads which you want to do. So let's say, for example, you're running 5 ads. Obviously the number of copies you would do 4, because the original ad plus 4 more equals 5. Let's say you want to do 10 ads, you would do 9 copies, etc. So in our case, we're doing 7 ads here, so we're going to do 6 copies, press on duplicate, and then all you want to do here is simply just press onto the next ad down, so add 1 copy, and then change the name to add 2, scroll back down to where it says the ad creative section, delete this part, add video, and then make sure that you're selecting the different ads. So for example, we've already done ad 1 here, we've already got this ad into this campaign, so the next one along is this one, so we're going to press this one here, skip all the sections because it's just a duplicate of what we've already done. That one's done. Next one here, do the same thing, add 3, come down, delete the original, add the video in, the next one along. Okay, so now I've put all the 7 ads inside of the campaign. We're all good to go, boys. We're sorted. So now what you're going to do is you want to come to the ad set level where it says broad, press on the 3 dots and duplicate this ad set, as we want to run 2 different ad sets. So as we're only running 2, the number of copies just needs to be 1, press on duplicate, and now we have a copy of that original broad ad set. So what we're going to do here is change the name. What we're going to call the name is HNI. What HNI stands for is hyper niche interest. Now, obviously I run you guys through the broad targeting, so how we're going to do the targeting in the broad ad set, but with HNI, which is hyper niche interest, the targeting is a bit different. So there's 2 different things that we need to do inside of this section here, and I actually need to go back and change it in the other ad set because I forgot to change it initially. So there's 2 different things we need to do. First thing with the age is make sure that the age demographic is from 21 to 50. And I'm also going to go back to the other ad set, come down to here, change this from 21 to 50 as well, because I forgot to change it initially. Always going to double check, boys. And then we're going to come back to the HNI ad set, and what we're going to change here, which is the main change, and this is really what differentiates both ad sets, is going to be in the detailed targeting section. So what we're going to do is press on this little pencil here on detailed targeting, and here you're able to search a bunch of demographics, interests, and behaviors. And the reason that we're going to do this type of targeting is because we're targeting the interests of the ideal client. So for example, Ed, his client is a high ticket setter or closer, but what is a high ticket setter or closer's main interests? Those are the interests that we're going to put into this detailed targeting section. So there's going to be a few different things. I recommend doing only 3 to 5 interests inside this targeting section. And what I recommend is we stick to just interests. They seem to perform best. You can do behaviors, different types of demographics, but I always like to stick solely to interests. And when it comes to specific high ticket setters or closers, their main thing that they're going to be most interested in is like making money online, passive income, like a bunch of different things that you see online about making money, because that's just what they're going to be most interested in. I know a ton of different high ticket setters and closers, and I guarantee that's mainly what's going to be on their Facebook and Instagram. So that is what you want to target. So for example, we've got passive income. That's going to be a good one. Come down here as well. We've got different ones. I saw freelancer, which is good. So we're going to select freelancer here in careers. Next one is we're going to do some type of sales, obviously. So we're going to simply do sales, business, and finance. And the last one we're going to do as well is self-employment, because technically a lot of these people are self-employed and they get to kind of work on their own hours. And that's a lot of, people's dream. They're the high ticket setters and closers. So that's the last interest we're going to put in: self-employment, careers. So there you go. 4 different interests inside of this detailed targeting section. So this is pretty much what the whole ad campaign looks like. So it's pretty straightforward. This is the full breakdown. This is everything that we put inside of Ed's original campaign, which was able to get him from 5K a month to 30K per month in just the span of 4 months. But the one last thing I want to run through with you guys, which is also going to be very beneficial for you guys to know, is going to be what the funnel looks like, because obviously every single lead that comes through the ad and fills out that instant form is going to get redirected to the sales funnel where they're able to book in a meeting, right? So that sales funnel part is going to be very important, because leads are good. Everyone likes getting leads, but a book call on your calendar, which is a chance to actually close a client, is always going to be a lot more beneficial. So here is the first page of the sales funnel, which we ran for Ed. And the sales funnel that I run is very, very straightforward. It's extremely simple. And the reason is because the more stuff you have on this landing page, the more, different things that people can swipe through and a bunch of different settings people can press. It just adds more friction. All it does is add more friction and takes them away from getting through to that next step of actually booking a call. You want to have the simplest first page, the simplest landing page of a sales funnel. And it's pretty simple. Obviously we have niche, results, VSL, and schedule a call here button. So once I press the schedule a call here button, pretty simple, get taken straight to the actual booking page. So Ed's booking page, wait for this to load. And this is the Calendly form that people have to fill out. So as we see here, Ed's put down a nice description here on the left, and people are obviously able to choose a time that suits them. So for example, let's select tomorrow, find a time that suits. So let's do 10 past 10. And then here we have a form which people need to fill out before they can book in. So although we keep the instant forms very broad to begin with, only that one qualifying question, and obviously the name, email, and phone number as well, with the actual Calendly form, you want want to include more questions in here because at the end of the day, you want to get as much information from this prospect as possible, because then when you hop on the sales call with them, you have all this information which you can refer back to when you speak to them. So for example, Ed collects the first name, last name, email, and phone number. This is obviously still stuff that you want to obviously access. And the reason that we have all this in here is because if you have them fill out their email and then also their phone number, that ensures that they get the email and SMS reminders, so they're reminded of the meeting. If you don't have those reminders in place, a lot of people will forget about it, right? So having the email and phone number in here is very important. Next question is a monthly income question. This just means you can kind of get a grasp of how much actually you're going to have to invest. That's going to be important too. Next thing, sales experience. And then with Ed, he also had another question about what kind of niche are you looking to work with. Again, it's just a little bit more of an insight into the type of person they are, what they want to work with, whether it's going to be like real estate, fitness, crypto, etc. A lot of different things here. What's your biggest challenge? And then we only work with reps earning between $2,000 to $50,000 per month and have a range of opportunities to help you acquire a 10K a month role. So this is just like an investment question as well. So what is your investment that you can afford to begin with? Again, it's always good to get an idea about how much actually you're going to have to invest, because then you know what type of package to pitch them. If you have a range of different packages and let's say, for example, only have $1,000 to invest and your highest ticket package is 10K, well, you're not really going to pitch them the 10K package. That's probably not the smartest idea, right? So having a budget question as well is going to actually help you know what package to pitch them on that sales call. And then one of the last questions as well is how soon are you looking to land a role? Again, urgency, right? Like we want to make sure that these people are looking to get started as soon as possible, because yes, someone might want to land a high ticket role, but if they're looking to get started in 6 months, well, I don't really think they're going to be able to put their money down on that call in 3 days, right? So always good to get an understanding about how quickly these people want to actually move forward. That's definitely important. And this is a good last kind of reminder as well, this last part here, because all this is saying is that we will contact you, and if you don't respond, we'll cancel the meeting. So that just shows that you kind of need to be someone with urgency and looking to, again, move forward quite quickly. And it just means there's going to be more qualified prospects onto the calendar. So again, great question. And from there, the event gets scheduled. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly fill out this form and do a little test run, so that I can show you guys the exact page which we land on once we've booked on the call. Because again, we have 3 steps to our funnel. So we've obviously seen the VSL page, we've seen the booking page here, but I want to show you guys what we call the thank you page, which is the last page. So we'll just quickly do a test run and fill out this form. So as we can see here, the form has been filled out. Simply we're going to come down here and press on schedule events. And now we're directed to the last page of the funnel. So I highly recommend on the funnels that you guys want to do, that you do a 3-step funnel, because this last page here is going to help out so much, like drastically, with improving show rate. Like yes, you can get a ton of book calls in your calendar and you can have a ton of people book in and you can be spending $20 for a book call, which is really good. But if all those book calls are on your calendar and none of them show up, doesn't really mean anything, does it? So that's why this thank you page is extremely important. So what I recommend you do is you have some sort of thank you video. So as you can see here, if we play Ed's one.
Congratulations on booking.
What Ed pretty much discusses is he discusses a few different things. He discusses the fact that you need to press yes onto the Google Calendar invitation that you would have been sent over, which means that the meeting shows up onto their Google Calendar. Also some other things as well, like show up to the call in a quiet place as well. So that is the last step of the funnel, and that is the exact system we use for Ed, and to help him go from 5K a month to 30K a month with just some simple systems in place. It wasn't a lot. We didn't do a bunch of different back-end AI automations or a ton of different things. It was just simple systems which you put in place for him to ensure that he was getting good lead volume, good call volume, and quality prospects on his calendar that he was able to close his clients. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave Ed's YouTube link in the description as well. Anything in regards to sales, Ed will help you out. He's got a bunch of different videos which are going to help you in regards to learning high ticket roles. So if you are a high ticket setter or closer and you're looking to land a role, making 5 to 10K a month, then I would highly recommend that you click on his YouTube channel below. And if you want a little bit more insight into how I actually run these ad campaigns, all the back-end systems, everything I just ran through on this call, you can simply just book a one-on-one call with me below, free one-on-one consultation call. We can discuss everything that you want to go through and we will go from there. So again, I hope you guys found this video beneficial, and I'll see you guys in the next one.